On top 101 of Eruvin, we're talking about what it is to have a key in one domain and be unlocking a door in another domain. So say you're in the public domain and a house is a private domain. Can you be taking the key and kind of holding it over the public domain and use it to unlock the door of the private domain, or is that not allowed? And they bring up a story of a poultry market where the shop owners used to lock their doors and then lift up the key and put it in the window above the store, which is above 10 handbreadths, and they use that as a proof to show what people do. And then Rav Yossi says, no, 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 no. It was a wool market. I remember reading and saying, no, it was a wool market. Well, how does that change anything? It's not like it's okay for the law to be one way in a poultry market and a different way in a wool market. And usually when reading the Gemara, you're only hearing arguments that kind of add to our discussion and add to our understanding of what the law is about. But Rav Yossi, you can see he comes up a number of times in the Gemara. He's somebody who believes in setting the record straight. So normally when somebody else interjects and objects to a story and says, no, 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 you've got it wrong, it's to show that there's what we call a halachic nafka mina. There's a difference in interpretation because of the different detail that I'm going to bring out here leads to a different conclusion for how we apply the law. Rav Yossi didn't seem to be that way. And we have a number of instances of him just jumping in because he wants to make sure we have the record straight. If you're telling a story about a certain circumstance, if you're telling a story about a wool market, don't say we had a poultry market. Those are different animals. And you know what? It's not the same thing. And it's important that you get the record straight, at least according to Rabbi Yossi. And I find it very interesting that the compilers of the Gemara, when going through and looking at all these different arguments, they're constantly debating what they were going to choose, what they're not going to choose. Or this was actually even before. This is in the Mishnah. So this is when Rabbi Yehuda Nasi was completing the Mishnah. He was debating, we need to make this very short. What do I include? What do I not include? And you see kind of some of the personalities and perspectives of different rabbis gets in there. So even though it doesn't seem to really add to our understanding of this particular matter with the key, it gives us a certain insight into this character of Rabbi Yossi, the guy who wants the record set straight. And it's important to say, you know what? He is a voice in Am Yisrael too. He's one of the rabbinic voices. And if he's a stickler about getting the details right, that it's important that a few times throughout the Mishnah that we quote him getting the record straight, because that way we're getting that view covered as well.